I have a thing for brownies. This is not exactly a secret. I've chased the perfect classic chocolate brownie for years, tweaking and testing until I found a version that I could stand behind. But a kitchen is a place for exploration, not just for perfecting the classics. One day, a canister of vibrant green matcha powder stared back at me from the pantry shelf, and an idea sparked. What if the dense, fudgy chewiness of a brownie could be combined with the earthy bright and slightly bitter notes of green tea? It felt like a culinary dare, a challenge to create something both familiar and entirely new. I wanted a brownie that wasn't just a novelty item, but a dessert that would make you close your eyes and truly savor the experience. This recipe is the result of that challenge. These are not your average brownies. They are unapologetically green, a beautiful, deep, mossy color that hints at the flavor within. Before we even think about turning on the oven, let's talk about our ingredients. A recipe with a short ingredient list means that the quality of each component really matters. First, the matcha. Use a good quality matcha powder, sifted before you measure it. A ceremonial grade will give you the most vibrant green color and a smoother, less bitter flavor. But a good culinary grade will also work wonderfully. Next, we need 1/2 cup, 113 grams, of unsalted butter. We're going to brown this butter, a simple step that adds an incredible nutty aroma and depth. For the sweetness and fudgy base, you'll need 6 ounces, 170 grams, of white chocolate, either chopped from a bar or in chip form. The better the white chocolate, the creamier your brownies will be. For the sugars, we use a combination to achieve the perfect texture and sweetness. You will need 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. The brown sugar adds a touch of moisture and a faint caramel note that plays beautifully with the browned butter. We will need 2 large eggs. It's best if they are at room temperature. Finally, for our dry ingredients, we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to round out the flavors, and a crucial 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt to balance all that sweetness and make the matcha flavor pop. Our first step in creating the batter is to brown the butter. This isn't just about melting it, it's about transforming it. Measure and place 1/2 cup unsalted butter into a small, light-colored saucepan over medium heat. As the butter melts, it will begin to foam and sputter. Swirl the pan, or stir it occasionally with a spatula. After about 5 to 8 minutes, the sputtering will subside, and you'll see little brown specks forming at the bottom of the pan. These are the milk solids toasting. The butter will take on an amber hue and release a wonderfully nutty, intoxicating aroma. Watch it like a hawk at this stage. It can go from perfectly browned to burnt in a matter of seconds. Once your butter is fragrant and a beautiful golden brown, immediately remove the pan from the heat. Add all 6 ounces of your chopped white chocolate directly into the hot browned butter. The residual heat from the butter and the pan should be enough to melt the chocolate completely. If you have a few stubborn unmelted bits, return the pan to the lowest heat for just a few seconds, whisking constantly. Be very careful not to overheat it, as white chocolate can seize and become grainy if it gets too hot. Set this luscious mixture aside to cool slightly. While the butter and chocolate mixture cools, we will work on the secret to that shiny, crackly brownie top. In a large mixing bowl, combine the 2 large room temperature eggs, the granulated sugar, and the light brown sugar. Now, you need to whisk. You can do this by hand if you're looking for an arm workout, but a hand mixer or a stand mixer will make this much easier. Beat on medium-high for 3 to 5 minutes until pale, thick, and ribboning. This step is non-negotiable for that coveted crackly top. Your batter is now ready for its temporary home. Pour the thick, glossy, beautifully green batter into the parchment-lined 8 by 8 inch pan. Use your rubber spatula to gently spread it into an even layer. Make sure it reaches all the corners of the pan. Give the pan a couple of firm taps on the countertop. Those taps release large air bubbles for a denser, fudgier texture. The surface should look smooth and ready for the oven. Slide the pan onto the center rack of your preheated 325-degree oven. Bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. Slightly underbake. Overbaking kills fudginess. At around 25 minutes, perform the toothpick test. Slightly different here. The edges should look set and slightly puffed. The center should still look a little soft. Insert a wooden toothpick into the center. You are not looking for a clean toothpick. You want a few moist, sticky crumbs clinging to it. Once you've achieved that, remove the pan and place it on a wire cooling rack. Now, the hardest part, you must wait. Let the brownies cool completely in the pan at room temperature. This takes at least 2 hours, maybe longer. Do not, I repeat, do not try to speed this up by putting them in the refrigerator. Just let them rest on the counter and slowly cool to room temperature. This resting lets flavors meld and the structure firm up for clean slices. The agonizing wait is worth the fudgy, matcha-infused perfection. The moment of truth has arrived. Once your brownies have cooled completely to room temperature, you can finally prepare them for serving. Grasp the overhanging flaps of parchment paper on either side of the pan and gently lift the entire slab of brownies out and onto a cutting board. This is why we use the parchment sling. It makes for a clean and stress-free removal. Now you can peel the parchment paper away from the sides. For the cleanest possible slices, use a large, sharp chef's knife. I find it helps to run the knife under hot water, then wipe it dry between each cut. This little trick prevents the blade from dragging and ensures you get those sharp, professional-looking edges. You can cut these rich brownies into whatever size you see fit. A 4x4 grid will give you 16 small, potent squares. If you're feeling more generous, a 3x3 grid will yield 9 larger, more indulgent brownies. To serve, present them just as they are, in all their green glory. Their shiny top and vibrant color are beautiful on their own. If you want extra flair, gently dust additional sifted matcha powder over the top. A small scoop of high-quality vanilla ice cream or coconut ice cream alongside a square is a heavenly combination. The cool cream is a perfect foil for the dense, chewy brownie. These brownies are best enjoyed at room temperature, when their texture is at its fudgiest and most tender peak. If you have leftovers, they can be stored in an airtight container on the counter for up to 3 days. For longer-term storage, wrap squares and freeze up to a month. Thaw at room temperature when ready. So go ahead, take a bite, and enjoy the rich, green, fudgy reward for all your hard work. You've earned it.